All right, what's up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about what it takes to become a software developer. First off, there are a lot of myths about being a software developer. Myth number one is that you don't necessarily have to be good at math to be a software developer. There's a lot of different subfields in software development, and not all of them require math. If you're working as a front-end developer and you're making pages and working with front-end frameworks, then you probably won't have to be good at math. However, if you're working on a project where you have to make machine learning algorithms from scratch, then you probably have to be very good at math. At the end of the day, it just depends on what field you get into. All right, myth number two is that you have to be talented or smart to become a software developer. Since software development is a STEM field, I kind of understand why people assume you have to be talented or smart in order to be a developer, right? Like if you're gonna be an aerospace engineer or a mechanical engineer, typically those kinds of jobs require you being smart. And while there are a lot of developer jobs that will require you to have a lot of technical knowledge or to be really smart in a particular area, there's also a lot of programming jobs that anybody can do as long as they're willing to learn how to do them that don't require any kind of special talents or anything. All right, myth number three is that becoming a developer requires a college degree. In the past, I would argue that being a developer did require a college degree, but a lot has changed with people being able to learn the skills that they need through the internet without a college education. Many companies like Apple, Google, and IBM don't require college degrees for all of their tech positions. Now, this isn't to say that a college degree is bad. A degree in computer science, software engineering, or any other related field will likely do nothing but help you in your career. I'm just pointing out that it's not a requirement and that a lot of people take different paths to become a developer. Okay, now that we've addressed some of the myths around being a developer, let's talk about some of the things that you'll actually need to be a developer. All right, the first thing that you're gonna need is a willingness to learn new things. Software development is a field that's very knowledge heavy. There are always new languages, frameworks, and best practices to keep up to date with. And so you're going to need to constantly learn things to keep your knowledge up to date. Now, I know this can sound a little bit scary, but in software development, it's not about memorizing a bunch of information. Even advanced coders have to constantly look up basic things to remember how to do them. But as long as you know how to look for the information, then you'll be good. Number two is having problem-solving skills. Now, I know that when I first started learning how to code, I thought that if I knew the language and I knew the frameworks, that would make me a good developer. I quickly found out when I worked my first developer job that knowing how to use a framework and knowing how to use a language to write code, and that using that language and that framework to write code that solves a problem efficiently are two totally different things. Languages and frameworks are only tools, and businesses hire you to solve problems, not because you know a particular syntax for a particular language. If you don't know how to solve problems in the language that you're coding in, then it doesn't really matter. If you want to learn how to problem solve, then I recommend doing some research on how to solve coding problems efficiently. One of the methods that I picked up on when problem solving is that you take a large problem and you break it down into smaller chunks, and then you try to solve those individual smaller chunks, and they kind of come together to solve the larger problem as a whole. This way you can avoid overthinking the problem, which can make it harder to solve because you're trying to think of it at too high of a level. Another thing that you can do to get better at problem solving is going through code interview questions. Code interview questions are designed to test your problem solving skills, so going through them will definitely help you become a better developer. Also, learning data structures and algorithms. Even if you just learn the most basic ones, it'll help to give you a lot of the fundamentals for solving coding problems that have already been tried and tested. All right, the final tip that I have for becoming a software developer is patience. Becoming a software developer is a journey, and while I understand wanting to be a software developer by tomorrow, it's going to take a lot of hard work and persistence. Now, this isn't to say that it has to take you a long time to become a software developer. There are some people who become developers after just 3 to 6 months of learning how to code. For other people, it takes longer to get there, so don't be discouraged if that's not you. One of the biggest factors that'll determine how long it takes you is how much time and effort that you put into it. If you're grinding every day for hours at a time, you're going to become a developer a lot faster than if you just practice a few minutes here and there. If you're persistent and you continue to practice coding, you're definitely going to become a better developer, and you're going to put yourself that much closer to landing a developer job. All right, that's all of my tips for how to become a better developer. I'll see you guys next time.